Okay, hello. Welcome to Red Pill Diaries. This is something I wanted to speak about for a while because I'm gonna jump straight in and say things like the new Star Trek. Um, Also, one we're watching right now called Another Life. And now that I think back on it, and I didn't see this when I first watched it with Battlestar Galactica, who actually has the same main actress who played Starbuck. It's the injection of this identity politics. Now, I know others have spoken about this, especially when it comes to Star Trek STD, as they call it. But we're both noticing, and it's getting sick now. We're just forwarding these drama bits.
You
But
don't miss the storyline. You don't
yeah,
miss anything of the.
you don't miss. Yeah, the storyline
No,
doesn't get
no,
missed. You just,
no.
I mean, right now there's a gay sex scene. I don't want to see a gay sex scene. I'm not been against it. I've been to gay clubs and everything, and it's very touchy feely in a gay club and people in their PDA on overdrive. Right? It's the fact that I can feel what this is. It's not just an indoctrination. It's a sinister programming, attempted programming of people, and I can see it's definitely aimed at the youth, but also aimed at people who are confused and don't know who they are. It's from a sexual point of view. Now, when I say I don't have an issue with this stuff, I don't have an issue. We just both feel something's weird and it's
Yeah,
just not
yeah,
nice,
yeah.
right? Um, but I don't. You think back to the previous sci-fi that you had in every other generation. They didn't. The most you might have got was Star Trek kissing some space alien. I mean, fucking Captain Kirk kissing some space alien, and the occasional species kiss or whatever it was, or maybe some reference to a relationship. Wesley Crusher and his mother. Was on the same spaceship and stuff like that. But not this. This is in your face, and not just in your face. It's trying to put in your face okay, they had a sex scene now where two people are virgins. They've only ever had VR sex before, and they let this other guy know, and of course they're just straight into doing some threesome. But the threesome's not just two guys spit roasting a chick. No, it's got to be the gay kind of one, straight away. Like see, I spent a lot of time around gay people when I was younger, and there was some that were respectful, and there was some that always tried to get you. How do you know you're gay if you haven't tried it yet? Blah blah blah, all this kind of shit. I got pressured quite a lot by gay people. I will tell you right now, and because I was what's it called? A fagnet, as they call it, gay magnet. That's right. That's what my ex-girlfriend called me. Judge, gay people are just attracted to you. Anyway, so and I was always respectful when I turned them down and everything, right? But this is so contrived, and the word I used before when we were discussing this was that it was sinister, because it really does.
Yeah, yeah.
It
It
feel
feels. Yeah.
it feels, because at first I thought, man, maybe it's too strong a word, but then when you really think what's going on here, it's happening in so many shows. It's like every other thing I turn on, it's like, oh yeah, let me guess, this person who comes in here with quite prominent lips, they're going to be non-binary. Sure enough, they're non-binary. That even down to the way that Captain Sooooo looks. If you look at his feet, they've structured them to make them look like
They're heels.
yeah,
Without
like
a
his
heel.
big high heels, like he's like
Yeah, they are heels without a back heel.
yeah.
They're heels.
So it's made to look like some kind of garishly freaky looking tranny. You know what I mean? And oh, does that scare you? Something's wrong with me? No, I don't mind it. Fuck, I've lived in London for 8 years. I've seen this shit. What I'm saying is, I can.
They exaggerated a bit.
Yeah.
So it's really in your fucking face.
Yeah. And you're forced to sit there and watch. Okay, that's the other thing was about the thing we were talking about, is the connecting of the storyline. How the storyline itself and the old sci-fi things, they were linked together by a bunch of tasks. Now, in project management or program management, when you have a bunch of tasks, they call it swim lanes. You might have 15 tasks in a row, and then they'll lead on to maybe 3 tasks here, 2 tasks there. And through all those tasks, through the timeline, you have a thing called a critical path, and it's shown in red. The critical path in these old movies and old sci-fi series was joined by logical storylines, tasks that needed to be performed in the script, whatever it might be, right? And these ones here, they seem to be joined together with just whimsical, emotional reactions.
It's drama, then the resolving that drama, then another type of drama.
And the other thing you said about
It's
it leaves you.
draining.
It leaves you emotionally
Yeah.
drained and exhausted, and that's how you kind of feel. And you just get to say, "Fuck, I want to fast forward this." So years ago, I'm just thinking back to me and my friend Corin years ago when we were in London. We were both contracting out there. We were watching Battlestar Galactica, right? And he was like, "Oh fucking hell, mate! Fucking hell! It's just one of these bloody women episodes again." You get these certain episodes, and it was all about drama. You'll know this if you've watched BSG, one of the best shows ever made, I think. But this is when it's not when it first started, but it's when it was first. It was when it was first done where I really noticed myself wanting to fast forward, even though it was a great show, wanting to fast forward whole episodes. And we're doing this again now with this, the series 2 and series 3 of that Star Trek, and this new one here, Another Life. It's just so, oh, for God, here we go. And then they just keep on bringing in these things where emotion comes to the forefront. It can wait. What? The possible destruction of the ship can wait because your feelings, and it's almost proving the point where people who are, it's not even emotionally unstable, people who function by emotion primarily and then by logic, if they were given, well, one is they're trying to sell the idea that that's what should be important. We've been doing things the wrong way, human race. We need to stop looking at logic. We need to move on to emotion. Now I understand this, and I understand the spiritualism aspect of getting to know yourself. Joe Rogan talks about this shit in his show, and it's very popular. And this is becoming a thing that's spread worldwide. So, and people like me who've been doing psychedelics for years and have taken things like salvia and DMT, we understand this, right?
Yeah, recognize
But this is different. This
Yeah.
is contrived indoctrination in a very sinister way of the population. It is part of the social engineering. This social engineering has been happening for decades, of course, with political correctness, especially in places like, well, where I grew up in New Zealand and also in Scotland. And I noticed it wasn't so bad when I lived in South Africa, but it's got a lot worse nowadays from what I can see online. And it was quite bad in Australia, and it was quite bad in America, although Australia and America have more this flip side of, it's still, masculinity is still celebrated in these places, where you look in parts of Europe and also in New Zealand, masculinity is a crime, hence toxic masculinity. They don't, when they first brought up that term, it was supposed to mean a type of masculinity that's toxic. And what's really morphed into is that masculinity itself is toxic. And I think this kind of bullshit is an extension of this.
Even the first episodes, the captain is a woman, and then another male captain replaced her.
You mean in this show, that Another Life one?
Yeah.
Because it was freaking similar with the other one, wasn't it? With the that's another one. All the you look around this so-called diversity, right? And the diversity in the helm, in the bridge in Star Trek STD. If it's meant to be showing you a representation of the diversity of what we have in society, well, it's not true then, because that would mean that there's 2 in 10 people are gay, 1 in 10 is like some non-binary thing. It would only leave space for about 1 straight male and 1 straight female, and if you were lucky. And actually, if you look on the bridge in the Starship Enterprise, I think you got 1 straight male, and that's it. So no, it's not representative of society. It's as representative of society as the staff of a what do you call it? A nail salon is representative of society. Something I've been saying. There was a news thing about the NASDAQ talking about delisting companies that wouldn't have so many non-binary, so many gay, so many people on their board, not on their staff, in their board. Now, I saw this kind of thing happen in South Africa, where they had to have so many black people employed. That is hard enough. That sunk companies out there not being able to fill jobs, having to train people up, and if the people didn't pass, they literally couldn't fill the role. And it really, my uncle was with the company South Pacific Cables, caused major, a huge company, caused major issues for them. This kind of so-called affirmative action is not well thought out, and it doesn't end well. and it's never implemented in a fair manner. So the examples I gave now about a hair salon and a childcare outfit, you got big corporations now that own these lots of places where you bring your kids to for after school care because it's so expensive. Of course, there's big money in it, and yet they wouldn't be able to force them to have, let's say 40% straight male staff, would they? It wouldn't work. Same as the nail salons. Now, if they're going to start implementing this, well, I know it has been in my career. I've had some really good female bosses. To be honest, most of my bosses have been female, and I'm in a male-dominated industry. That only happened because I lived in these countries that had affirmative action. But what happened, I would say, more often than not, was that the woman that I was reporting to and the woman that she reported to were totally inept at their jobs, and it made a ridiculous amount of inefficiency. And you would have the same inefficiency if you had been forced to, let's say if you were in Asia and you were forced to hire white men, you would probably have the same thing because you're hiring based on identity.
And
This is not about being sex. It's about when you hire someone based upon their identity, rather, whether it be sexual identity or their race, whatever it is, instead of what they can do for you, you're going to get these problems. Anyway, I segued a little bit there.
Should I look at that?
This is fucked up, this show. I don't know. This other life, we're just watching one series. It is quite fun to watch just because of the, and the...
There's
suspense.
only one season, right?
Yeah, there is. I might call it quits after that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Here we're watching it, but it's just the storylines keep you involved, but the storylines unfortunately don't hold anything together because the storylines, I'm only interested in. I'm pretty sure you are too.
Yeah, the fucking.
I'm interested in. Oh, what is this alien thing going to be? What is this here?
Yeah.
And they know that. They know that's why we come to sci-fi. We want to see. Oh, cool. What?
For now, it's only that a crystal on a crystal.
Yeah.
Appeared on Earth. They went out to contact the aliens from where the crystal came from. They're still going. They took a little detour because they
how much? We're eight,
no,
and
then detour and then I don't know.
8 episodes. I think 8 or 9 episodes in, and we still don't really know
yeah.
the nature of this thing at all. Even vaguely the nature of this thing. Compare that with the colony, for example. So one of the main guys in the thing called Lost. Yeah, he's in that one called The Colony. That one there, you find out aliens come straight away. They cordon up the city. You still don't find out the exact nature of them, and they keep it hidden. And that suspense keeps you going for other episodes. But the whole thing isn't dominated. You might have the occasional show that's about the guy and his son, or about how he's feeling about losing one of his kids. But that's still it's not the forefront of the whole fucking series, and that's what you're getting with a lot of the sci-fi stuff. Even a part there where they have they eat some crazy some of the things they eat the salad, but the things that they do, they go into these things. It's like, hang on, like both of us saying that every single time. Hang on, these are meant to be like kind of army people, they're astronauts. You wouldn't just go into something without your suit on, taking you. Oh, it's okay, you can breathe the air. Oh, let's not worry about the fact there might be non-carbon based life forms. And what happens straight away? Oh, a boron based life form. It's fucking obvious to us, and we're not astronauts. And yet you're supposed to believe that they would do that. You're supposed to believe that this captain, who's played by the same chick who did plays Starbuck, that she goes to a window when they're flying through dark matter, sees her husband, quickly stop, we need to get the ship, and she's not going to question herself on it because her emotion told her.
Her husband is on Earth. Her husband's on Earth.
Yeah.
And they told her
exactly
that that's not him.
It's irrational. You're supposed to believe that someone with this level of irrationality is going to be fucking running this spaceship. That is the last hope of humanity again. Like they always put with this Michael character. This has to be called Michael, doesn't it? It can't just be a normal woman's name that this woman has. It has to be Michael. And it has to be her fixing everything. It has to be her giving her very typically African-American, almost cliched African-American attitude to the fucking admiral and not being reprimanded for it.
Crazy eyes.
Crazy eyes all the time. Yeah. Just like a couple of my exes out there. Crazy eyes. Yep.
The emotional Everyone
Yeah.
gets them.
Everyone gets them, but some people have them
Nice.
constantly. Yeah, and you haven't got control of yourself or your emotions. So yeah, we see it for what it is. It's really disgusting, and that the word sinister that I first used that I thought was not the right word to use is exactly the right word to be used. This is sinister what's going on right now because it is to infect the eyes of the youth. It's to infect someone who might have gone through life otherwise fairly confused, could have researched the internet, could have found stuff, could have jacked off to porn, whatever it might be. But it's to normalize these different ways. In the same way, in a gay scene when you're 15 or 14, you might be groomed into doing something, later on find out that you're not gay, or but then that's actually going to cause problems in your mind. And remembering that most people are not gay, right? So this is the exception, not the norm, and they're trying to make the exception the norm. They're trying to confuse people to the stage where you get more. We've already got enough conflict and everything happening in life in different ways, and the logical aspects of life, such as who is running what's the nature of this reality, and who's running this reality, and how does these political structures work, and who's been, who's
questioning everything.
Yeah, questioning everything around us. You've already got enough of that going on around you, and you haven't even got into thinking about those things when you're 15. Well, you probably never will get into thinking about them if you get these additional distractions of, oh, my feelings are so important, and blah, blah, blah. And it's just going to turn a nation.
It's not. Yeah, it's not that they're not important. You need to process them and not let them be in the
forefront.
Yeah,
No, they're priority. They aren't the forefront priority of your life, your emotions, and what you're feeling about someone. And what it's going to do is going to breed a whole generation of emotionally incontinent people who won't be able to function properly. And then, well, what is that again? It's a new form of distraction. It's a new form of division, infighting, because that's distraction too, to separate.
And then people also are easily manipulated.
Yeah, well, fucking look at this. I mean, if people aren't noticing this stuff from these shows,
media and stuff, it makes the job easier for them too.
Yeah. Yeah, they're more receptive to hearing bullshit when everything they watch is contrived shite like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still just want to see the highlights of the show. But we're literally skipping through once these bits come on, like the last kind of weird. Okay, yeah, I could have handled it being just a normal spit roast that someone's going to have their first threesome as the kind of the one that no man wants to boast about, and but instead it becomes some kind of double gay three-way thing that both guys don't seem to be even gay
and even enjoy it.
Yeah. So they'll just come out of the situation disturbed. That's what will end up happening, eh? But hey, it's all right. And then since you've been disturbed, you can tell your friend because Schadenfreude is a real thing in this world. So then because you've done it and you feel really bad, you'll push your friend who's confused into it too. My point here is that when it comes to these sexualized things, is that me and my ex-girlfriend Alyssa, when we stopped in the Harley one time, we were going around some states on my bike, and we got to Florida, and we've been told that Florida's filled with fucking swingers, right? Straight away, it was like it was like fucking flies around shit. We stopped at Daytona Beach. We stopped at almost everywhere we stopped. We keep on getting these fucking people, and hey, we got a condo over there, blah, 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 blah. They're just so interested in you straight away, and it's like, it's just ridiculous how many. But my point is they see you as in the same way as in a gay club when you get older, you get different types of gays like bears, fruit flies, all that sort of stuff. The different classifications of gays, right? Is that they've got their little lingo between them, what they are, right? So you get the ones where the kind of thing you studded hat, police hats and things like that, with moustache, kind of Freddie Mercury kind of look ones, and then you've got the older bears, as I said. You've got the younger confused ones. You've got younger gay ones as well, but you've also got younger confused, and they bring them in as it is a meat market. It is like you are objectified. And apparently the gender identity woke crowd are against objectification. That's exactly what this is. So what you're doing when you're bringing this kind of stuff out, you're feeding this sexually predatory environment. I've seen a lot of sexual predators when I was living in Australia. a lot of rapist type people when in around the drug scene and stuff. And I can see exactly what this is. This is feeding predatory sexual nature. And what this is, it doesn't actually help anyone to have been a slab of meat. It might help some people go through something and then deal with things, then come out the other side. But for other people, it can cause them lasting damage to have not learned and not experienced things in the way that they would have if they just stumbled through and learned things in a normal way, rather than this contrived fucking forced indoctrination into your head. It's all good. Next thing, some guy gets bum raped by two guys because he thinks it's normal, and then he can't get around it, and he ends up committing suicide because he ends up actually not being gay, but not even that. Maybe he's actually homophobic too, and he remains homophobic and can't get over it, and therefore kills himself. These things actually happen, which is probably why the suicide rates are so big in certain countries. Anyway, I just thought I wanted to point that all out. You want to see anything else?
Even the dynamic between couples, you know.
What dynamic?
Oh yeah. Not really, don't seem even compatible.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so the one thing she was saying yesterday was about the fact that Starbuck look at this baby face, what's his name, Frankie Munst kind of guy on the screen here. He looks about 20 years younger than her, right? And the thing that they keep on doing right now in this like you're mentioning, the social dynamics, is they're trying to make it out like the guy stays at home looking after the kids, and the woman goes out earning the crust and battling and punching guys and constantly punching guys, and it's just like, oh,
and
come
he's
on.
being manipulated by his daughter.
Yeah, that thing as well. And he's like, so besides being a simp to his missus, he's also effectively a simp to his child.
Even
because she's manipulating like fuck.
Tell me the next time.
Yeah.
And then he goes on and tells her the fucking
The
classified shit,
That's right.
and then she runs away where he is.
Yeah.
To that fucking crystal, gets blown away, nosebleeds.
Yeah, so puts her life in jeopardy, exactly what you wouldn't be allowed to do. Yeah. Besides,
who let her through?
Yeah.
There's like at least 20-30 people.
Yeah.
There. At least.
Yeah. And I know you might think we're looking into this too much. It's like, oh, it's just a show, man. No. This is programming of people. This is moral recoding. Anyway, I might leave it there. Yeah, okay. Good night. Bye.